My dear students, here is a brief lecture on the topic immigration to the United States of America. Now, you need to be able to answer the question, why did so many travel to America? And there are other questions as well that are definitely interesting related to this topic. Now, the questions are, why did they leave their home country? What did these people expect to find in the United States of America? And what did they risk by changing home country? And how were they received in their new country? And finally, how do they manage in this new country? These are central and very relevant questions to be able to discuss and, of course, answer. Now, some of the reasons for people emigrating and immigrating. Emigration is when you leave a country, and immigration is when you travel to a country. Now, some of the reasons for emigration, of course, bad conditions in their own countries, such as lack of jobs, lack of fertile land. Fertile means fruktbar, and higher demands on quality of life. Another main reason for immigration to the USA is, or actually was, the discovery of gold in California in 1849. Another main reason for immigration to the US is the Homestead Act of 1862. The Homestead Act was all about these people, the immigrants, getting a part of free land. And what they needed to do to get it for free was, of course, to harvest and build kind of value to the country. And the last main reason for emigration and immigration was definitely the American dream. Now, what is the American dream all about? Very brief, one can say the following points here. Personal freedom, freedom of choice, free soil, altså gratis jord, gratis land, having a job and a family, and the term from rags to riches is central here, meaning fra fille til rikdom. Det å jobbe seg opp fra å være fattig og til å klare seg veldig godt, og til og med meget godt økonomisk. Det neste punktet som er også veldig sentralt for The American Dream is the self-reliant man. Og uttrykket the self-reliant man er et uttrykk du absolutt skal ta med deg det også. For det handler om den mannen som har bygd seg opp fra ingenting til alt ved egen hjelp. Har altså ikke fått hjelp fra systemet, fra regjering, fra autoritetene, men jobber selv med egne hender og skapt verdier og rikdom. The self-reliant man, altså en som stoler på kun seg selv. Og det er klart, det som ligger inn under The American Dream er jo også da det her med landet med alle mulighetene. The United States was definitely the promised land, the land of opportunity. Videre så viser jeg deg et bilde av Ellis Island. Altså Ellis Island, det var jo da det registreringssentret som ligger rett utenfor New York, som ble bygd. Og det ble bygd etter rett og slett et behov for at alle de immigrantene som kom, de måtte jo registreres. So Ellis Island was built, and it was built as a castle. It looks lovely, and today it is a museum. Now here is a aerial photo of the New York skyline, and as you can see, this picture was taken before 9/11. But my point is, you see the New York skyline, and you see Ellis Island as an island made outside New York. Another photo here. Also interesting photo because you see the skyline, you see the Statue of Liberty, and in between Ellis Island. I like to use picture when I explain and talk about different topics, and of course I do this here as well. Here is I think a quite good picture because it shows the typical immigrant. You have the woman, you have the children, and everything they own is in their luggage. You see a suitcase there, you see a bag on the boy's back. This is what they were able to bring with them from the whole home country. And in here, this picture is taken in 1910, and it is a family from Italy arriving. And my point is, imagine how they felt, because they have left the old world. They have left their former country, and they have arrived Ellis Island. They will need to register. They don't know, the language. They are totally unknown of everything that lies in front of them: language, country, and of course their destiny. They know they will work hard in order to succeed. Now, this picture is not a good picture. It was the only thing I found, but it is an important picture in the sense that here is the register room in the main building of Ellis Island. And this picture was taken in 1905. And you can see that the immigrants are grouped, and they were tagged awaiting questioning, because every immigrant that came in here, they were registered according to when they came and from where they came. And of course there was an interview, a questioning, and medical checks were done as well. And here is a medical examination. This picture is also kind of blurry, but the point is that you had doctors and nurses, and you were checked for basically everything, because the country, of course, didn't want unhealthy people. They didn't want illnesses to spread, and some illnesses were quite contagious, also smittsom. Now, they had a certain letter coding when people arrived, and here are some interesting examples, I think. Now, if the doctor found out there was something wrong with your back, you got the letter B on your jacket. If there was something wrong with your eyes, you got the letter E. Something with your face, whatever, F, feet, FT, and so on. PG for pregnant. And another thing I think was interesting is that you had the X. If you look at the last column, the X was about, if you had an X on your jacket, there was, they suspected that you had a mental defect. Altså det at du var ikke helt frisk I hodet. And if you got an X which was circled, altså hvis du hadde en X med en sirkel rundt, så var det et helt tydelig tegn på at du var mentalt syk. A definite sign of mental defect. Now, I think it's quite interesting, because I read some stories that due to language difficulties, language problems, people got the X basically because they were not able to communicate. So you had some bad fortunes and incidents definitely here as well. Now, we did earlier talk about Norwegian immigration, but I will just give you some numbers from last lesson. Now, around 500,000 emigrated to the USA before 1893. Now, the boat trip could last for 4 months, and the conditions were really bad, and diseases developed, and some died crossing the Atlantic. Now, the first travelers were usually single men. Now, and let's talk a bit about reasons again, but now we focus on Norway and only Norway. During the 1860s, the population growth in Norway led to fewer jobs. People didn't get the jobs. And in 1880s, 20 years later, you had better conditions in Norway, but now people wanted better jobs. For instance, better jobs than being a servant or a factory worker. In addition, farming was difficult at the time due to climate. You know, they didn't have all the equipment and so on that we have today. So yeah, population growth, people wanted better jobs, and farming was difficult due to climate. These are the reasons you talk about when you talk about this topic. Remember that. Now, I have some pictures here from Norwegians. Here is in Salebote. They are traveling to America. Now, this is a painting about immigrants, people emigrating from different countries, and they are on a ship. And the illustration shows the trip over the Atlantic Ocean. And of course, life on board was, well, not good at times because it was really, really crowded, and it was not well equipped when it comes to whatever facilities as shower and toilets, and little food as well. Now, here's a picture of immigrants. This picture is from about 1892, and you have immigrants that have arrived New York, and they want to travel further, either by railway or boats. And here they are standing in line buying tickets. Here is also Christian Acre. He has built his, his brand new lovely house in Minnesota, 1880. He has called his house Hotel Knappnæring, and that was probably very true. Here we have a picture of Norwegians together with Indians or Native Americans. If you want to study the pictures, you can of course try to search them up yourself on internet, or you can just kind of break or stop this video just to study it a bit better. Unfortunately, the quality becomes a bit more blurry if you do that. But very interesting to study pictures. Now here is a butcher from Scandinavia. And you have lots and lots of Norwegians building, or here barn raising, building a barn together. People worked together and helped out each other a lot these times. So of course, building a barn could take, quite short time because everyone worked day and night. Okay, and here's the letter. I have read this letter to you earlier, a letter from the USA, an example of Norwenglish. So you can read it again yourself just for the fun of it, and to be able to give this as an example of Norwenglish at the time.